Live, love Africa. What's your excuse for not coming? Please subscribe.
Hello, I'm Dynast Amir.
What's up, everybody? It is Dynast Amir, Search for Uhuru. Thank you so much for joining. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you share the content as well. Also, go to dynastamir.com. Go to dynastamir.com. We need your emails. We want you guys to subscribe to our mailing list so you can stay in the know in regards to what's going on with Dynast Amir. Also, too, the Africa is the Now. Africa is the Now shirt is now available in my merchandise store. So when you guys watch this video, you'll see the merchandise, the t-shirts on the bottom. So please buy shirts or shirts. There are more than one. I have plenty of shirts. Please buy and support. Also, go to amazon.com, buy a book. I've written several books, children's books, sales books. So guys, please go and support. Today's topic, I wanted to, me and Kala yesterday, if you guys watched the live stream, we spoke on the Arent cafe situation. And I kind of want to expand on that because me personally, I understand where the sister's coming from because I have felt at times the same way that she's feeling. And I've told these stories before and I'm going to share them with you guys again. So I understand her frustration. All right. And I think, people who are trying to censor her and tell her there should be a certain way she should express herself, I get it, but at the same time, sometimes you should allow people to share their truth. And so she's sharing her truth. And I understand where she's coming from. So first time I went to Africa, I went to Tanzania. And so I was excited. So I told several of my African friends about me going to Tanzania. And so a lot of them gave me this disclaimer. There is no racism in Africa, brother. No racism in Africa. You militant black Americans, we don't need that in Africa. We don't need that in Africa. So I'm like, okay, there's no racism in Africa. And the militant black Americans, you don't need that in Africa. I said, okay. So I go to Tanzania. I go to Zanzibar. And on Zanzibar, the majority of the shops, well, the very, very nice ones were owned by Indians. And what I observed in regards to the way Indians treated the Africans who lived on Zanzibar was disgusting. Some of the comments they made, they called them lazy. I mean, you should have just heard the language, how they treated them. They didn't respect them. And so I said to myself, well, hold on. As a black American, our African American, guys, I don't want to play these games. Well, that is, I'm not a black American, I'm an African American. You know what I mean. I got the memo or the disclaimer, but for some reason, the Indians in Zanzibar didn't get the disclaimer. Then on top of that, if you look at the number of large industries in Tanzania, from what I observed, were all dominated by Indians. And Indians were very militant and they were proud of who they were and who they are. But for some reason, they didn't get the don't be militant disclaimer. The largest touring company, safari company in Tanzania, I think it's called, I forgot the name of it, Leopard Tours or Panther Tours, something like that, owned by Indians. So, Indians were talking down and talking bad to the Tanzanians there or the Africans there. They were talking down to them, being disrespectful to them. They control the economy. So I was just lost for words when that happened. Then of course I went to South Africa. South Africa, of course is dominated by the Europeans and they control the economy and they're militant. Then I go to Kenya, somewhat the same thing. A lot of these East African countries, Uganda and Kenya, if you're white and you show up with a Bible, you are God. In fact, there's a saying. In fact, I got this from my Kenyan friend. You've seen Jesus when you've seen a white man. But for some reason, this whole don't be militant thing, the whites, Indians, they didn't get that memo, but the black Americans, we got it. So then, last year, I was going from Senegal to Gambia by road. So from Tuba, Senegal, I was going to Gambia by road. So I'm Nigerian, so I have a Nigerian passport. Now, I have an ECOWAS passport. So with an ECOWAS passport, you should be able to travel from border to border and not have to pay a fee. So I get to the Senegalese border. I get my taxi drops me off. I go to passport control. I show him my passport. He said, "You pay 5,000 CFA." And I said, "Sir, this is an ECOWAS passport. When I entered the country from America, I flew from New York to Dakar. I didn't have to pay anything. I just showed them my Nigerian passport. I could have used my American passport as well, and they let me in. So why do I have to pay 5,000 CFA? I'm just asking." "You pay 5,000 CFA." Now, imagine this long Senegalese finger in your face. It's like, what can you do? "You pay 5,000 CFA or you go back to Dakar. You go back to Dakar." And I just said, "Okay, sir, calm down. I'm just asking why I have to pay." He said, "You go." So they escorted me from the from the Senegalese border, back to my car. So I said, "Hold on, I'm not going out like this. Like, I was gonna go see Black Sid, Juliet. I had everything planned. I'm like, no, I'm going to Gambia." So I waited like 10 minutes. I walked back. I paid the 5,000 CFA. They let me go. So I get to the Gambian side. And this is kind of why I understand Art's, Miss Kathy's frustration. Because in Senegalese have done a great job dominating and controlling their economy. I would say that. Same thing with Nigeria, but Senegal has done a great job at doing that. So I get to the Gambian side, right? So I go in. So when they come see me in my back office, I know what time it is. I've been doing this. I've been traveling throughout Africa for a long time, so I know what time it is when they do that. So they take me to the back office in Gambia at the border, and this is what they tell me. They said so this is during the time that the xenophobia was going on in South Africa, right? As far as the South Africans going after Nigerians. So they tell me because of this is what the Gambian Border Patrol told me. This is what they told me. They told me because of the xenophobia that's going on in South Africa, there is a limit on the number of Nigerians that could come to Gambia. And so I just look at them. I'm like, huh? This is what they told me. There's a limit on the number of Nigerians that could come into the Gambia. So I'm just looking at them. But then he's like, "Just wait right here. So I wait. So then he comes back, and of course he wanted money. So there's a picture. So he asked for some money, but there's a picture of the Gambian president in his office. So imagine this Border Patrol agent sitting down, and there's a picture of the Gambian president right above his head. So he asked me for some money. I said, "You ask him." And I pointed to the picture of the Gambian president. I said, "No, you ask him." So finally they let me go. So then you go to Gambia, and like I said, with everything that Miss Kathy, Gambia is a beautiful country. It's beautiful. And the thing I like about Gambia are the expats there are so talented. I would say Gambia has the most talented group of expats that I've seen. You have Juliet, you have the couple that owns the bed and breakfast, you have Shanedu, if I mispronounce your name, I'm so sorry, please forgive me. And you have Arent there. You have some talent in Gambia, and I just wish that everybody could come together and work as one. I mean, you have some powerful individuals in Gambia. And like I said, I wish everyone could come together and work as one. So I did observe the Europeans with the younger Gambian kids, which is odd. That's very weird. You have to ask yourself, what is this old white man? I mean, come on. What is this old white man in the 60s or 70s doing with these little Gambian kids? That is weird. That is odd. That's not normal. I mean, you have to ask, think about it. Even me at my age, okay, and I'm walking around with a 4-year-old white girl, people it's gonna raise eyebrows. What are you doing? But Gambia, like, it's going on, and you know what time it is. So you see that, and you notice other things as far as, you know, who's really willing to deal in and controlling the economy. Then there was this article where Indians and Lebanese decided to come together as far as their tourism association, a hotel association, and not invite local Gambians. So you have all of this going on. You have the issue at the border. So I can understand, and you have a lot of locals who just turn up. I mean, I'm sure there are some who are confronting this and trying to stop it, but then you have some who just turn a blind eye to it. So of course, I understand why she would get frustrated. Again, I've been traveling throughout Africa for years, and I have experienced a lot of what I'll call but a bunch of Afro-Peanism. Or as Kyle said, a bunch of Afro cheeks and the Afro cheeks would defend the behavior. Well, brother, it's colonialism, and they just don't know any better. It's 2020. Everybody has a cell phone. You know, it's like the whole racism issue. You know, the whole racism issue is like, you as a black man or woman, wherever you go, I don't care if it's Iceland, I don't care if it's Mongolia, I don't care if it's Hawaii, I don't care where you go. The people there are going to feel more superior than you. No matter where you go on this planet. In the year 2020, Africans are the only people who are still playing what is racism? I don't know. What is it? I don't know what racism is. They're still playing this game. It's like, stop it. I don't care where you go outside of Africa on this planet. You even gotta go to Africa, go to Morocco, go to Tunisia, go to Egypt. They feel more superior than the African. But for some reason in sub-Saharan Africa, you still got Africans trying to play like they don't know what racism is. But for some reason, when a European shows up with a Bible in his hand, he's God. But they don't know what race is. See, this is what we're dealing with. So imagine dealing with all of this. You're going to have a breaking point, and you're gonna say what you need to say. So I understand where this is coming from. I get it. I would be frustrated too. But that's what's going on. And guys, this should not deter you or discourage you from going to Africa at all. At all. Africa is still the future. Africa is the now. Get the shirt. But at the same time, we should not censor this sister because she's just speaking her truth. And what she said was valid. All right. Now, as far as the name calling, people are saying, well, she shouldn't use that type of language. All right. I practice ancestral African religion. All right. I'm at the Voodoo Festival. My temple's in, I'm in Ouida, Benin. My temple's in Ouida. I have a temple in Ile-Ife in Nigeria. All right. Those are my spiritual homes. Ouida, Benin, and Ile-Ife, Nigeria. You don't understand the number of times Africans have called me a Yoruba demon or have accused me of practicing devil worship. But then Miss Cat, they said something, all of a sudden we don't use that language. You got to be kidding me. Again, you do not understand the number of times because, again, my temple I have a temple in Ile-Ife. My Ifa temple is in Ile-Ife, and I have my Voodoo temple is in Ouida, Benin. You do not understand the number of times Native Africans who have completely disowned and ditched their own spiritual systems that their ancestors built specifically for them in exchange from this stuff that Europeans brought to them. Have called me a Yoruba demon. I practice devil worship. I'm possessed. So again, let's just stop. All right. A lot of what the sister said is credible, and she makes a point. All right. Let her speak her truth. She's putting in the work. I mean, because at the end of the day, when you're investing in something and you're putting up your own money, you're putting up your own dough, right? And you're giving people opportunities in the community. And you notice what's going on in the community, right? You, I think, have the right to express and say what you need to say. I just come from a football mentality where coaches said whatever. And I'm not saying it's right. I don't completely agree with it, but I understand where the sister is coming from. Because again, you look at all of this, I'm painting the picture, depending on what African, that's why I love Nigeria so much. Nigerians dominate everything, just about. That's why I love it so much. Because some of the stuff you guys deal with, and like, I mean, think about it. In Uganda, you had a pastor put hands on a guy at a hotel, at the doorman at the hotel. Put hands on him. And stuff like this continues to happen. Again, in Kenya, when I was in Kenya, if I'm white and I come on and I show up to Jomo Kenyatta Airport with some Birkenstocks, some khaki shorts, some little khaki shorts, and a polo, I'm Jesus. I am Jesus. And that goes for a lot of other countries. You know? So I understand where she's coming from. Is it right? I mean, it's whatever, that's your opinion. Again, the whole language, be respectful. Again, you don't understand the number of times I've been called all the Yoruba demon, devil worshiper, those evil spirits are in you, Dynast, evil spirits, you know, all types of stuff. So again, leave the sister alone. Let her continue to build. And let's keep it pushing. So everyone, thank you so much. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Hit that like button, subscribe, share the content. Until next time, family, Dynast Amir, search for Guru. Peace.